All the videos in this channel, including this one, is for educational and informational purposes only. All the answers I share in this Q&A session are based on my personal experience and my personal opinions. They should not be taken as professional, financial, or investment advice. Everyone's situation is different, so please do your own research and make your own decisions. I cannot guarantee accuracy, results, or anything like that. I'm not responsible for any actions you take based on what I say here. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we'll have a Q&A session and I will try to answer the most common questions you asked in a course of a couple months ago, and I'll try to answer the most I can. There's unlimited amount of questions and I don't know if I can answer all the questions because look at this. Yeah, I'll try to do my best to answer the most I can. Let's get into it. How did you learn trading and how long did you take to become consistently profitable? How many years have you been trading and how many of those years were you losing? And when did you finally start becoming profitable? What year was it? How long did it take you to become a master on pocket option? How long did it take you to become consistently profitable in trading? I'm curious about the journey before reaching profitability. How much time and experience did it really take? So now let's get straight into it. In order to answer this question, you need to understand what traders evolution pyramid is, okay? This is the rectangle that shows that different phases, different levels that each trader should pass in order to become profitable. The very first stage is the gambler phase. Gambler. And this consists of 100% of traders, okay? This is 100% of the beginners, not all the traders. 100% of the beginners when they start trading. They start from this phase. This is the base, okay? Gamblers always lose money. When they start, they lose money no matter what because they don't understand how trading actually works. And it's true for all the beginners, okay? After this phase, we have a phase of learners, and it consists of 70% of those who passed the gambler phase. Okay, in the learner phase, the traders try to learn every single strategy in the market, or in YouTube channels they try to go through everything, try to learn as much as possible, thinking that, oh, if I learn the most of the strategies, it's in my benefit. But in fact, it doesn't work like that, okay? So this is the learner phase. They try to figure things out, but they still lose money at the end of the day, okay? After the learner's phase, we have survivors. We have survivors phase after the learner's phase, okay? And it consists of 35% of the learners. They make some small profits once in a while. They know how trading works. They mostly dealing with some emotional problems, you know, over trading. They try to complain about why they cannot control their emotions. You know, they know what's going on in trading in general, but at the end of the day, they are not consistent with their profit. One week they make a lot of profit and the next week they will lose all the profit. And this is the 35% those who didn't quit in the learner's phase, okay? After the survivors phase, we have enlightened. We have enlightened phase, and it consists of 10% of the survivors, only 10%. In this stage, traders usually make profit. They are break even. Most of the time, 90% of the time break even. Sometimes they make profit. They actually know what they're doing. They avoid emotions. They have a structure. They have a system. And they finally realize that this is not only about having a strategy or a system. It's also about risk management and knowing how to always be in higher probability side, if you know what I mean. And they are in light only 10%. Okay. After this phase, we have capitalists. Capitalists are the ones who actually found their way up, and they are almost every time profitable. Okay. On every session. Okay. This is the hardest. I think I can confidently say that this is the hardest thing in the world to reach to this level. But once you reach this level, nobody can stop you. Okay, you can. It's like a glitch in the matrix. You just make money. It's easy to say, but it's very hard to achieve. Okay, but about the time frames, it's very interesting. Now, about the time frames, since you asked about my own story, I will just tell you how long it took for me, okay? I started trading in 2017. 2017, I remember I took my first ever trade in IQ option. Yeah, it was 2017. And switch up between the gambler and learner phase is pretty fast, because you realize very fast that trading is not gambling. It's not about making one-time big profit. It's about consistency. And you realize that in this stage. Okay, so it's pretty fast. About 4 to 6 months takes you to understand and move to this phase. And after this, in 2019, I was in survivor's phase. It took 2 years. And then after this, I would say 2020 and 2022. So my time frame is like 5 years to become profitable. Of course, it's not same for everyone. I was just wasting my time for 2 years. This could happen much faster. I didn't have any mentor. I didn't have any sources. That's why it took super long. But in today's world, I would say this whole thing can happen in 1 year or maximum 3 years. Yeah, in today's world, 1 to 3 years. It's different for each person. And yeah, this is my time frame. I think it happens the longest for me because of lack of sources and lack of a mentor. I took a mentor in 2019. Yeah, that's about the time frames. Trading is not easy, so you can achieve like this top of the pyramid in 6 months or something. It's not. You may achieve here in 6 months, but it's impossible to reach to this level that you make consistent profit. Now, one of the other common questions is that I enjoy your videos so much. My question is, can you show me the graph profiting account for 30 days, please? This is important for me. Yeah, for sure. Let's pause the video right here. Before showing my 30-day profit graph, I want you all to know that this is the result of years of experience, years of practice, and countless mistakes along the way. I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to show my all-time profit for sure, of course, for obvious reasons. And I want to be very clear, trading is not easy. And it's definitely not for everyone. There's no quick money in trading. Trading is one of the riskiest professions in history. The reality is that more people lose money than make money in trading. The profits you see here are not typical. They are not guaranteed. And if anyone tells you that they are guaranteed, that's a lie. And what you see here should never be considered as an example of what every trader achieves. Just to be more clear, nothing I say or show should be considered financial or investment advice. I'm against taking other people's money and taking the responsibility of them with giving signals or copy trades. That's my main reason. I do not I give signals, I do not do copy trade, and I don't promise profits. If you choose to trade, you do it with your full awareness and the risks, and only with money you can afford to lose. Okay? So I'm trying to make this clear as possible for people out there, for you, and for beginners who are not very familiar with trading. I hope you take this serious. Since this is a Q&A video, I'll do that for you. Oh, I hope I do not forget to blur my information. Alright, this is the last 30 days, which I actually shared every single one of my sessions in the channel, as you know. I had also some bad sessions, not like always having good sessions. According to previous pyramid, when you become capitalist, this is how your graph should look like. Right now, 7 days, only 3 sessions, only 20 trades. I see some people take 200 trades in one session and then they complain why they lose. That's obviously still a gambler stage, that you don't have structure if you trade like that. Yesterday I had no session, and today 7 trades. By the way, I'm just showing this because some people asked for it. I would never do this as a show up or something. I'm not here to prove myself or anything like that. You would never find somebody on YouTube do this, but I did it for you. Obviously, I'm not showing all-time profit, but if this video gets 3,000 likes in the first week, I may do that. This was one of the most common questions that people are curious what my graph looks like. And sorry for interruption. For those who are asking, this is the only Telegram channel that I have, which I share my students' results only and the announcements that I have. Nothing too crazy, not like similar fucking signal channels and things like that. If you're interested, that's the first link in the description. Yeah, let's just go to the next question. Doc, can you explain why does becoming profitable in trading feels like we have to go through so much pain and pressure and struggle first? Well, becoming profitable in trading is one of the greatest feelings. But like anything great, it doesn't come easy. We know that. Just like building muscles, you have to sacrifice time, effort, comfort, and things like that. The struggle, the pressure, and the losses you go through when you want to become a profitable trader, they are the price you pay to earn the strength, earn the discipline, and the skill that will make you a lot of money in future. Okay, so we have to go through the darkness to achieve the light. I personally believed in yin-yang symbol. It's a very powerful metaphor from Chinese philosophy, and when it comes to trading, it gets even more interesting. If there were no downtrends, uptrends would be pointless. Not only trading, any competitive system can be applied. Winners only exist because others lose. The market is a zero-sum arena. Someone's profit is someone else's loss.
I'm going to say something very logical to you people at home. And if you're stupid, you're not going to understand it. But if you're smart, it's not that difficult a concept. There is no light without dark. 5,000 years ago, the Chinese drew yin and yang for a reason. They are linked. They go together. There is no such thing as a successful person without a failure. Without the failures, there's no success. You need both. For there to be winners, there has to be losers. Therefore, if God is going to give you the chance to become a successful person, He has to make it difficult. He has to lay out a gauntlet, because within that gauntlet, some people will quit and they can go become losers, which allow the people who do not quit to be winners.
Without losing traders, there'd be no one to take the other side of a winning trade. If no one panicked, no one would profit from fear. The stop loss makes the take profit matter. The pain of a blown account teaches discipline that no book ever could. Every chart's chaos is what makes the strategy work. So don't just chase the light, learn to dance in the dark. Alright, now let's just answer the rest of the questions with shorter answers, because I cannot make long answers for each question. I just realized it's gonna be super long, so I'm gonna have my answers very short. Which one is better between pocket option versus Forex trading? My thinking to start trading on Forex as well. Just wanted to make sure if it's worth it, Thank you. Okay, I have to correct your question first. It's not pocket option versus Forex trading. It's binary option versus Forex trading. Okay, pocket option is just a platform like Qutex or IQ option and the rest of them. It's just a platform. Now, binary option versus Forex trading, they are very different and they demand different type of traders with different mindsets. Forex is more popular. There's more trusted brokers for Forex trading compared to binary option, if you want me to be honest, but it's possible to make profit in both of them, and it really depends on the individual and your preference and how you feel about each of them. Which one feels more confident and more comfortable trading? This is a general question. So if you type Forex versus binary option, there's a lot of things will pop up on YouTube. I suggest you to do that research, because if I want to go deep into this, it will be a 1-hour video, because there are different types of trading, but both of them are valid and both of them are good, and you can choose on your own. I cannot say that this one is better than that one. Each of them has their own pros and cons, which I will show you a couple of them. I got a screenshot from Google and it says binary option versus Forex trading, and you can see the differences, pros and cons, let's say. For example, in Forex, you can set stop loss. You have better control over your risk, risk to reward ratio. That's a benefit for Forex traders. And you have the ability to have leverage on your account, but overall growing your account will be smaller. You will pay so much fees like spread or commission per trade. And in terms of difficulty, I would personally say both of them are difficult to become profitable on the same level. It doesn't mean that Forex trading is easier to become profitable. It doesn't also mean that binary option is easier for becoming profitable. Both of them has multiple assets. Now in this screenshot, it says assets for trading multiple for binary option and limited for Forex, which is not true. I will just hold on. I have to edit some of its part. Assets for trading, it says multiple for binary option, which is correct. But it's not limited for Forex. In Forex, you also have multiple assets for trading, so this is not correct. Ownership of assets in binary option, no. And in Forex, yes. It's also nonsense. For Forex, you enter the trade and you cannot hold the assets like stocks trading, okay? So the asset is not yours. So this is also not correct. I don't know who put this on internet, but regulated in US, this is correct. Binary option is not regulated in US, but Forex is regulated in US. Also, this really depends on the brokers. Some of the brokers are not regulated in US too for Forex. Fees, this one is correct. In binary option, you don't pay really fees, but for Forex, you pay a lot of fees, like spreads and commissions. They add up per trade. Each trade you have to pay fees, which is a bad thing for Forex. For beginners, simple to use, not so much. This is also absolutely incorrect. For beginners, both of these are complex and difficult to master for beginners. For everyone, it doesn't mean that. Who says it's simple to use for? I mean, I shouldn't even put this picture on video. At least we are correcting them, okay? Leverage, not available up to 500x. Yes, this is also correct. In Forex, you can have a $100 account and have a 500x leverage on it, but also make sure that first you know how leveraging works. The more leverage you put on your account, the higher risk you have, and the losses will be that much bigger. This is very important, please. If you have a $100 account and you have a 1,000 leverage, it's so easy to lose this. It's so easy to blow your account. That's also important, and you have to take that into account. Do not try to, this may fool so many people that, oh, I have 500x, now my profit will be 500 times bigger. Your losses also will be 500 times bigger and easy to liquidate much easier to liquidate your account. Okay, so be careful about this. Risk to reward ratio, we don't have such a thing in binary option, but we have it in Forex. That's also correct. You can have 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio in Forex. And basically 2 of your losses will be equal to 1 win. And if you can maintain that always in every trade, which is difficult, you'll have higher chance to be profitable. Refund for losses, more than 50% refund, none. This is also not true. We don't have such a thing in binary option 2. What is refund? I don't understand what they mean. I haven't seen anything about refund. About this one, risk is controlled and unpredictable. This is also bullshit. I'm sorry. This is also, what do you mean controlled? Risk should be controlled in both of them, and it's possible to be controlled in both of them. It doesn't mean, what do you mean by controlled in binary option? This is a very bad screenshot for public. If public trusts this screenshot, this is bullshit. Risk controlling risk totally depends on the trader in both of the ways of trading, both of the type of trading. Profitability rates uncertain. Okay, this is basically correct. For example, in binary option OTC, you have 92% profitability rates. If you put $100, it means that if you win, you'll be up $92, which is 92% in OTC. And in main markets is this rate. It's correct, but also make sure you know that if you lost that, you will lose the $100 in your trade. So in this profitability rates, it's also really depends on the trader. So what is the conclusion here? What is the conclusion? Why am I explaining this? The reason why I'm trying to explain this is that first thing first, do not trust every screenshot, every website, everything that you see on internet. If you want to choose which one you want to trade, you have to experience both of them yourself, at least for a short period of time. And then you can decide, oh, this one suits me well. Oh, binary option is not my thing. I would prefer Forex, or vice versa. Okay, it's really, really up to you. You cannot trust anybody's suggestion in choosing binary option versus Forex. You have to figure it out yourself based on the pros and cons each one have. In my personal case, for example, I've tried both of them. I've mastered both of them, but binary option somehow suits my mindset and emotions and the way that I can grow my very small account in binary option, which is kind of very difficult in Forex. In Forex, you have to have a bigger balance in your account, but in binary, you can, it's possible to grow a very small account. These are the things that really attracted me to binary option. A bit better than Forex. I love both of them, but for now, I preferred binary option. We may switch to Forex later. But in general, it's good to have a general idea how both of them work, experience both of them, and you will figure it out. Next, how do we detect an exhaustion candle and how it is formed? Well, this is an exhausted candle. It means that it has no energy anymore and it needs a pulse. If you look at this, we have 2 exhaustion candles in the sellers. So you see that the sellers has been coming down, right? Has been coming down. You see they are kind of frustrated. They are pretty weak. Okay, they are coming down, but the candles are weak. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you see a huge candle in seller's color, like this one. This is called exhaustion candle. I really didn't find the best example, but it is how it looks. Weak movement of sellers or buyers, and then super strong candle. It's act like a bridge between buyers and sellers. Let's say we have sellers up here and we have buyers down here. Market does not have a trend. It does not have an energy. So it's just playing around like this. It just plays around. There's not really any obvious trend. It's just weak sellers in the market, weak buyers in the market going around. And all of a sudden, let me just put this a bit higher. We see a huge buyer's candle that acts like a bridge, and connects these weak buyers to the seller's area. Okay, this is called exhaustion candle. The reason why we call this is because these buyers are exhausted, and this is an exhaustion candle that shows that the buyers are exhausted and we want new people in the market. We go up and we get the seller as soon as possible. Okay, same for sellers. Okay, this is a sell example. This is not the best example, but this is the general idea. Same for this one. Weak movement of the buyers, and all of a sudden, huge movement. We usually, for valid, we cannot go to the chart and look and find all of these candles and take them. No, that doesn't work like that. You have to have a setup. As always, you have to have a setup first. For example, I wouldn't take this buy right here just because this is an exhaustion candle. I would take this buy if, let's say, this shadow was a bit bigger, and if a third touch breakout was happening here with higher high, which in this case we don't have, or if this exhaustion candle is closing on the third touch buyer's area. Okay, this would be a good example of third touch of exhaustion candle for sell. Same for buyers. You have to have at least a level that exhaustion candle closes on, or any other setup. You cannot trade only based on exhaustion candle. Okay, this is I'm trying to make all of you understand that trading doesn't work like that. You have to have a set of setups, and then you can take the trade. You cannot go to the chart and take all the setups from all the trades from one setup. You cannot go to the chart and take all the trades from one setup without adding other setups. This is another exhaustion candle. See that? In this one, we have weak seller's movement, exhaustion candle, and then if I draw this demand area, I could probably find a lower time frame entry inside the demand area because it's also breaking these weak resistance. But in general, this is how exhaustion candle looks like. I hope I answered your question. Next, for Q&A video, show us your best combinations, setup plus confirmations, discuss your trading life journey, give us a sneak peek please. For best combinations, we really have like infinite number of possible trades. I just want to show you one of my students' trades because I believe his trades is so good. He spends a lot of time in the chart. Let me just show you that. Some of beautiful trades of one of my students. I want to find, let me see, for example, this one. Look at this. When I see if you have to make it look like an art, trading is really art. Look at the market sequence of 4 consecutive red ones, 4 consecutive red, 4 consecutive red. Double red candles at the middle. See, this is beautiful. Now, this is called market sequence. After this forced red candle, you can take the buy, but that doesn't end here. If you look at this, if you draw this line, we have also first, second, third touch breakout. Okay, so this is a combination. We also have this price channel that he drew. You know that the price usually moves between price channels, right? So added up confluences, we have also marked a decision point, which price really didn't touch that. This is what I call a very good trade. Okay, let's go to the next one. I just want to give you an idea. Look at this, for example. This is a QM trade with higher time frame confirmation. Blue zone 10-second fresh area, and this one yellow zone 5-second fresh. So see, the fresh areas in lower time frame are kind of overlapping each other, and this is a fair value gap right here. See this fair value gap, and this is the order block. So basically in this trade we have combined QM and order block with higher time frame confirmations. We have also another decision point here, which it seems that it worked. This is combining 2 major setups. This is beautiful, isn't it? Like, look, this supply, it's also causing this breakout. We have this support, it's causing this huge breakout. So this supply is a valid supply. But the question is, does it end here? Does it end here? No, if you look closer, you'll see a doji right here. Okay, it's also doji break. So these are the best combinations. Look, again, what is this? A doji break. Now, the guy who asked about exhaustion candle, this is called, let me just get the blue one. This is called exhaustion candle. See, weak movement, doji is indecision, and all of a sudden we get a huge green candle. It acts like a bridge. It connects the weak bars in the market to the seller's area. Where is the seller's area in this chart? This is the supply or seller's area in the chart. So again, the question is, does it end here? Of course not. We have this huge gap up in the favor of sellers. We have also a minor third touch breakout. First touch, second touch, third touch. You may say, oh, it's not breaking the third touch. But the thing is, we have this huge gap up, and if you look closer here, the gap is starting above this. So technically, we have broken this, right? So we have broken this because we're starting with gap up right here. Yeah, he also mentioned that closed as exhaustion. What is this? Oh, this is also exhaustion. Why did he mark this? I don't know. Anyways, oh, this is market sequence also, right? Market sequence. Yeah, third market sequence. I don't know what is this white one. He probably considered this as a market sequence, but it's not correct. These three are market sequence. See? We don't see, in this ranging market, we don't see more than three green candles. We see ones here, but once the dojis are involved, we can ignore these. We only care about solid candles, right? This is another beautiful trade. I can give you countless examples, okay? Let me just show you another one. Look at this beautiful trade. Oh my God. All right, another one. Sorry for interruption. For those who are asking, this is the only Telegram channel that I have, which I share my students' results only and the announcements that I have. Nothing too crazy, not like similar fucking signal channels and things like that. If you're interested, that's the first link in the description. Beautiful. QM trade, right? Common point of rejection, we have market's direction. It's also breaking the overlapping area, which he forgot to mention, and 3 inside down pattern, which can give us retracement. Now this one, look at this one. You talk about best combinations: first touch, second touch, third touch breaking it. What do we have here? We have market sequence, 3 inside up pattern, and doji break. This is another beautiful combination. We have also gap up in the favor of sellers. This is another beautiful combination. And look at this one. I mean, I'm speechless when it comes to this freaking trade. I'm literally speechless because this is exactly an art. This is an art. I can't lie, okay? Beautiful QM, okay? QM trade. This is a QM trade. If you don't know what QM is, please watch this video. It's free in the channel, in the popular section of the channel. So this is a QM trade. 5-second fresh zone. If you're following for a long time, you probably know what QM is for sure. And then we have trend line, and it's closing on a trend line. Look, closing on a trend line. So this is also a trend line setup. We have market sequence, yes, but not too strong because we don't have another 3 consecutive green one. We usually like to have third market sequence on our trade. Anyways, it's still market sequence. And we have a doji break. How beautiful is this trade? Yes, you tell me in the comments. This is crazy. So I hope I showed you some good trades. There's a lot of them. Look at this. Doji again. What is this? Third touch breakout. Market sequence, you know. Another one. Decision point. QM with trend line and 3 downside. 3 outside down. Gap down. lower time frame entry. This is how trading works, guys. You cannot go to the chart taking a single setup. That way, you reduce your risk to 50% if you trade blindly. Look at this beautiful doji break. These kind of ranges are best for doji breaks. Market sequence. And we have colors pattern too. Market direction. See, these are the good trades. And now let's go to the next question. Sorry for interruption. For those who are asking, this is the only Telegram channel that I have, which I share my students' results only and the announcements that I have. Nothing too crazy, not like similar fucking signal channels and things like that. If you're interested, that's the first link in the description. Why don't you post more Forex vids? Alright, the reason why I don't post Forex videos is because I'm not actively trading Forex because of lack of time, and the only free time I have is just recording my trading sessions for binary option and post in the YouTube channel. But for me personally, I'm kind of satisfied with binary option, and starting up Forex again and warming things up, it would take a bit time. But I will, if you like interested, I don't know how many of you are really interested in Forex too. I can post some contents, like general contents about Forex for beginners if you're a beginner. But I don't have time to trade on Forex. That's why I'm not creating, because I want to create a genuinely good content. You know, explaining my trades in live sessions is the most optimal and the best thing for someone to learn something. Because if I just teach the concepts on paper and do not actually do it on the chart, I mean, for me personally, if I'm a student and if I see that somebody who teaches something doesn't really do it him or herself on the chart, then I would doubt the strategy. Because if I don't trade on Forex and I only teach, that's going to be weird. But if you're interested, I can start Forex too. You know, Forex has a lot of benefits. There's a lot of prop firms that they give you a good balance to trade on. Of course, they have also risk. I'm not suggesting anyone. I'm not doing investment advice on anything like that. Any market has its own risks, and you have to be aware of that. Let's put that aside. So yeah, let's go to the description right now. There's my Forex channel. If you're interested, like if I see a significant growth in the subscribers, I would know that you are interested, and I may start Forex channel as well. I have a couple of videos posted there, and yeah, I may start uploading Forex again. My own setups, of course, not my own setups, but the normal setups I usually trade, I apply them to Forex as well, with a little bit of change and modification. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe to Forex channel. That's the first link in the description. Yeah, next question. Hope you're doing good. Please, my question is, have you ever have 5 consecutive back-to-back losing trades, and what do you do after? Also, does the size of the monitor screen matters in taking good quality trades? 5 consecutive back-to-back losing trades is for, you know, the time that I was a beginner and I couldn't control my emotions and didn't know about risk management and all that. But now if I have like 3 consecutive loss, or I see that the market is bad, I just close the, I just shut down my PC. I just shut my PC down and I go do something else and then come back like 2 hours later. This is my strategy, and usually it's successful, and I regain the loss. I have a couple of training sessions like that. I have losing streak, and then I take a break and then come back. So yeah, 5 consecutive back-to-back losses. No, you shouldn't let that happen. You should stop on 3 consecutive losses. And about the size of monitor, I suggest for trading and general usage, even for gaming, 27-inch is the sweet spot if you're planning to purchase a monitor, and try to purchase an IPS panel, 2K resolution, this is important, and 27-inch monitor. 2K resolution is the sweet spot, and it gives you the ability to zoom back a bit far than the normal Full HD monitors. And I would say the difference in the quality of your trades is not like day and night, but it gives you a bit more space in the chart, a bit more angle to the candles. That's how I would say it. Yeah, so if you can afford it, you can find good prices for 27-inch 2K monitors with at least IPS panel. If you can afford even more, OLED panels right now are the best. This was a bit of tech guide for you guys. Next question: what do you do when not trading? Well, trading itself is only maybe 3 hours of my week. Let's say each of my session takes maximum 20 minutes, right? 20 or 30 or 15 minutes. And I have 3 or 4 sessions per week. So trading doesn't take a lot of time for me. I just do have a normal life besides trading. If you mean what do I do as hobbies, I watch Netflix. I suggest you watch Stranger Things. It's so good. I recently finished it. I play video games, and I play Call of Duty, and yeah, that's it. I go to the gym and hang out with my friends. That's a normal life, basically. Yeah, trading doesn't take a lot of time from me. How do you control your emotions while trading? Emotions are something that they are automatically controlled when you become experienced. I'm not worried about emotions anymore. When you just start trading, or when you're a beginner, your job as someone who needs to control her or his emotions is 100 times more difficult than an experienced trader. And that's just fact, because as a new trader, you have a lot of experience, a lot of mind states you need to experience. Also, 99% of the time, new traders are short in money. This is very important point. So let me just give you an advice when it comes to trading. Statistics and experience shows that people who already have a good paying job and they worry less about money are more successful, and they become profitable faster, much faster. Okay, I have a lot of students, you already know that, and when I see them, their performance, they usually have a job, and it helps them a lot to worry less about trading. Worry less about money. And when you worry less about money, your emotions reduced automatically. Because the reason why you're emotional is because you feel that you're losing money, right? If you have a good paying, if you have support, your emotions will be much more controllable, because in background of your mind, you know that you have a good paying job. So my advice, if you want to learn trading, it's fine. You can someday quit your 9-to-5 job, but never quit your job before you become profitable, no matter how much time it takes. That's a mistake if you do. Next, what is the best trigger for Q&A? For QM setup, it's QM setup. Sometimes the demand supply point does not appear in a shorter time frame. For example, N15 5 seconds. So it's better to move on to the next entry. Passes and no entry trigger for the QM setup. Okay, so what is the best trigger for QM setup? For QM setup, all right. For QM setup, first thing first, you detect the setup. Your setup should look clean. Your setup shouldn't look like this. Okay? Your setup shouldn't look like this. Your setup shouldn't look like this. Okay? You have to have clean, visible, beautiful QM. That's the first step, right? Don't take a QM trade just because it looks like. This is technically a QM, right? But we don't take it because we're not dumb. Okay? We want beautiful, visible, nice QMs. Now, once you detect that, you go to higher time frame. You have to see the engulfing pattern. If this is a sell QM, this is basically a sell QM, you have to see a sell engulf. This is a sell engulf. If this is a buy trade, exactly the same, but opposite, like this. Sell QM, your engulf, I'm sorry, this is buy QM, your engulf should look like this, right? That's the second step, higher time frame confirmation. After detecting your higher time frame confirmation, you will go to the lower time frame to find the lower time frame entry. Now, question is, what if we don't see the engulf in higher time frame for this QM? And the answer is, you don't take the trade. Very simple. Why would some of you force yourself to take a trade? If it doesn't match the conditions, if you don't have the conditions, just don't freaking take it. Just move on. Okay? If it's weird, if it's not, if you're not confident, if it looks bad, just ignore it, bro. You shouldn't just take every trade. All right, so after higher time frame confirmation, you go to lower time frame. You start from 30 second, go to 15 second, 10 second, 5 second. Let's say you didn't see anything here. You saw a supply right here. After marking your supply in 15 seconds, for example, again, you go to the higher time frame, engulf, and you see that if the area you marked is in the body of the engulf or it's outside. Sometimes we mark the QM, it has higher time frame engulf. We mark the entry and we go to higher time frame and see that the entry is outside the higher time frame engulfing pattern. If that's the case, you don't take the trade. This is risky. Okay? You don't take the trade, or you really want to take a trade, you really want to take a trade, you take with 1 out of 10 amount. If you normally trade with $10, you take this with $1. If you trade with 100, you take it with 10. If I see this, I normally trade with 1,000. If I see this, it's outside, I take it with 250. You've seen it a lot. I lower the amount. Or just don't take it. That's the whole thing about QM. Now, let's say you have an entry in 15 seconds, and also you have an entry in 10 seconds. In this case, see which one is above. If 15 seconds is above, I personally would take the above entry. Okay, that's another thing. These are just general rules. You can set rules for yourself too, but you have to really respect your own rules. Now, also one more point. Let's say this is your QM zone. Your entry should be above the zone in lower time frame. Okay, that's another thing about QM. Again, full description, full explanation for this QM setup, you can see it free in the channel. Next question. What does make the OTC market good or bad? Is it the news or the traders, or does it move randomly? Well, when it comes to OTC trading, if I want to be honest with you, no one knows what OTC is, but my personal understanding over the course of a couple of years from OTC market is this. I will give you my own opinion. We cannot take this for granted because nobody knows how they create this OTC market, but I will give you my my own opinion about this. Also, I already have a video about this, which I compared the OTC market and main market. And you can just watch it and decide how OTC works. I personally didn't find any difference in chart formation, in candle formation, in chart patterns, in setups between OTC and main market. The reason why is I used to trade Forex one day, right? And also QM was one of my setups. I traded QM in Forex, obviously on main market, and it was working very well. So then I tried in binary, and I modified the rules a little bit for binary. For example, in Forex, the entries are different. Now, I saw that the QM is also working in binary's main market. So why not if I trade QM in binary too? And then one day I decided to check the OTC, because let's see how OTC reacts to QMs. If really OTC is manipulator or something, it should avoid all the QMs, or the movement of the candles should be different from the main market. And then I checked the OTC market for a long time, and I saw that the winning ratio and the way the market reacts from QMs in OTC market is exactly the same as the main market. You may say that OTC is manipulated, OTC is in the control of broker, OTC is that, this. They all could be correct. The point is, if it works for you, use OTC. If it doesn't work for you, don't use OTC. That's very, very simple. If you think that the OTC is manipulated or it's bad, whatever, just go to trade the main market. Now, OTC, of course, is brokers' local charts. Okay? We don't know where it's coming from. But my idea, my imagination gives me this idea that it's a simulation. It's somehow they got all the data from one of the charts from main Forex market, for example, gold or GBP USD or AUD CHF, and they tried to somehow simulate those movements. For example, recent 10 years, they could simply go to 1 minute time frame and gather the data of recent 10 years, and somehow with AI or with something, they could simulate the movements and the reactions from the chart in the course of 10 years. And they call it OTC market, and they put it there. And this way, the broker is active even in Saturday and Sunday that the main markets are closed. Okay, this is some kind of business idea for them, but I don't care about their business idea. If it works for me, I don't care. I trade it. One more difference between OTC and main market is the timer. If you look at the timer in main market, it doesn't have +1 in flag mode. And in OTC, they have +1 in flag mode. And I love flag mode because it makes our trade to close exactly on the candle close. And it makes me focus and not worry about the extra seconds that we may, it may make us lose the trade if we're taking the trade with manual mode. That's why OTC matches my trading style. We can do the same on main market. It doesn't make any difference. It's just the frustration of dealing with the timer. If you accept that, if you can trade on main market, just trade on main market. I'm not encouraging anyone to trade on OTC. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. Okay? Make up your own mind. If you're asking my opinion, that was my opinion. And I think that's just the simulation of the normal chart movement. I personally do not see any reason for manipulating, because go look at the statistics in Google. When 90 plus people just lose, why would they bother to just manipulate a couple of trades? Even if they may do, I'm not sure. I don't know, because we cannot be 100% sure about this. Yeah. It definitely it's not random, because if it was random, some of our setups wouldn't respect exactly like the main market. I think there's some kind of connection between main market and OTC, and it's definitely not affected by news. That's for sure. All right, the last question. If you had to use one indicator, which one would it be? With what settings, and why would you choose this in particular? All right, it would be moving average 23 EMA. The reason why it's simply because detecting the minor trends. It also sometimes acts like support and resistance. I will add to my chart for my next session. All right, and I'm just going to stop this here. Do not forget to drop a like on this video. If we get 1,000 likes by the end of the week, I will show you the all-time graph profit of my account. Yeah, that's it. Also, do not forget to check these out in the description. Thank you for watching, and peace out.